My girlfriend gave me an ultimatum after my request to change our therapist due to them both ganging up on me during our sessions. Original post. My girlfriend's parents are divorced and her father passed away at the end of last year. She was his only child, so she inherited most of his assets, which was a lot because her father was a wealthy man, at least to my standards. The problem started after she took care of all the formalities regarding the inheritance. We moved in together, which made me happy because we've been together for 4 years already. At first, I thought the apartment we've moved in was the only one she inherited because we didn't spoke much about her father's fortune. But it turned out that it was just one of the 5 apartments that she inherited. I asked her why would she withhold this information from me, and she told me that she hasn't thought that this will be so important, and she decided to either sell or rent the rest of the apartments. It made me feel kind of uneasy. If we are together for so long and we've both decided to move in together, then shouldn't we both discuss and choose which apartment to move into? She apologized though, so I left it at that. But it didn't end here. I later learned that she also inherited a house that she has sold without consulting me. She argued that she wanted to give the money to her mom so she could live comfortably. But I don't believe that anyone would just sell a freaking house to give money to someone else. That's pure BS. Another thing that is making me confused is how she doesn't want to share. Her father left a car and lots of electronics, like a MacBook, and she just claimed it without even asking if I need a new laptop or something. I'm not expecting her to not use her inheritance, but we've been together for 4 years. She knows that I was thinking about buying a new laptop. It would be nice if she at least asked. I also thought that she would at least let me drive the new car, but she just started to brag about how it's her first car, etc. She's not even driving it because she prefers to take a bus or walk to most places. She also wants to split bills evenly, even though I know she has a lot more money now, and I'm pretty sure she wouldn't even need my share of payment. I asked her about it and she actually got kind of mad at me this time. Told me that we are not married or anything, that I shouldn't just expect her to give her whole inheritance to me. So yeah, just usual over-emotional woman BS, because that's not what I even asked for at all. I told her that I just feel left out because she's deciding what to do with the apartments herself, and then just claiming the car and the MacBook while I'm here too. She just doesn't want to understand. She actually argued that this is exactly why she never told me about her father's wealth, as if I was some gold digger or something. How to make her realize that her selfishness may break us apart. I feel like it's harder and harder for me to commit when I know that there are people out there who would be way more caring in a relationship than her. I was thinking about suggesting a couple therapy because I love her and don't want to break up, but she has to realize that she's not alone and I should be involved in the decisions she's making. Now for the top advice before reading the updates. You are insanely selfish. WTF? She's right. You are not married. She doesn't have to share any of it with you. Stop being like this. And yeah, good on her for not telling you, since you've ended up being a grabby beggar who thinks your girlfriend's property is yours. Usual over-emotional woman BS? You've got to be kidding me. Are you really this blind? She didn't tell you because she knew you would react like this. Yes, she sold a house to give money to her mother. She has more than enough, and she wanted to share with her mother. Why would she need to consult you about decisions that don't affect you? You are so unbelievably selfish. Right? Like, how does he not see himself as being over-emotional? She's right. You're not married. It's her inheritance to do as she wishes. Even if you were married, she can consult your opinion, but it's still her inheritance to do as she wishes. I'm sorry, but you're 100% wrong in all of those. It's not emotional girl BS. You're trying to tell her what to do with her stuff, and you're resentful that you didn't know about it ahead of time. You're right. This relationship is going to break up over selfishness, but not hers. Even if they were married, often an inheritance is considered personal property and not a joint marital asset. You're the a-hole. OP, you are poorly entitled to your girlfriend's inheritance. And not only that, but you're beyond tone deaf as to how she acquired these inheritance. It's not a Potter she won. Her father died. You feeling hurt about not being consulted over the affairs of the estate shows your entitlement, but also how much finances, that aren't even yours, seems to matter more than the situation at hand. She didn't give money to a friend, but to her mom, who also lost someone they cared for, assuming so. You need to learn that you're not married, and therefore what is hers is no way yours. And even if you are married, it's still to her discretion how to use her money. If it's being the less financially stable person that's bothering you, then you need to discuss these insecurities OP, rather than assuming your partner will give in and fix them. Your entitlement is showing OP. Either fix it or you'll find yourself in a very rough and single spot. Now for the first update. Would it be wrong to report my girlfriend's mother for tax evasion? From what I understood, monetary gifts are considered income in certain cases, if the tax wasn't paid already by the one who gifted the money, for example. My girlfriend paid inheritance tax, but I don't think it's the same as income tax. I would need to consult a lawyer on this. I believe that the exact amount of the gifts is way above the taxable threshold, as it was money from my girlfriend's father's house, which was a lot. I'm not sure, but I know my mother-in-law. She believes that I'm after my girlfriend's money and inheritance. I even caught her telling my girlfriend that I'm not worthy, greedy, and a gold digger. She's projecting her own wrongdoings on me. It's important to me because my girlfriend is naive, and she believes she did the right thing. But I don't think she did. Now for the top comments. Keep in mind she won't be your girlfriend after you do. We've been together for 4 years already. She agreed to come to couples therapy because she changed completely after inheriting her father's fortune and became selfish. She will realize I'm doing the right thing. No, she won't. You're sticking your head where it doesn't belong. You reporting her mother is automatic dumping. It's not the right thing by her. You sound like one of those holier-than-thou types of people who can do no wrong. Poor girl is probably being gaslit by you, and I hope the therapist points this out to her. Nope, he is a gold digger. His relationship advice post is him angry that his girlfriend won't share the wealth with him. Everyone sucks here. Yeah, it's her money and she can do what she wants with it, but her father obviously gave it to her, and not his ex, because he wanted his daughter to be comfortable and do something for her future. This is none of your business. Unless, of course, you pay for everything. Does your girlfriend pay for half of all the bills? Does she pay half of any trips or anything you take together? Thank you. My girlfriend pays the bigger portion of our bills. We moved into one of her father's apartments, and since she has way more money than me now, we agreed not so long ago that she would pay for it. She has some problems with being selfish with her inheritance. For example, how she kept in secret how much exactly her father has left her and how she sold most of it already. Because it has nothing to do with you. She's already paying more than you, and you're living on her property. How the heck are you this brain dead? In most cases, men who earn more and have more assets have no problem with their women living comfortably. So why everyone wants me to feel bad? We've been together for 4 years. She has more money now, way more. It's only natural that she pays more. You can't bully me into believing otherwise. Edit, and that's not even what I ask about. It's about my future mother-in-law's tax evasion. You won't have a future mother-in-law at this rate, and there is no tax evasion. She already paid inheritance tax, and there is no gift tax in Poland. You're in the wrong. It's fine for her to pay more. What isn't fine is her paying more, and you trying to get her mother arrested because her daughter gave her money from a sold house. Something that would be considered a gift, hence no tax required in Poland. For Pete's sake, at this rate, I'm surprised she hasn't dumped you. You don't give a damn about her or her mother. You just care about the money. 4 years is nothing. Now for the second update. We, as in me and my girlfriend, started couples therapy a few months ago. Our relationship went through a rough patch. We were both at fault and decided to work on it instead of calling it quits. Our therapist is a very renowned one, so I had high hopes for this. The first few meetings went well, but then he started to be weirdly invested in our relationship. After those first few meetings, I think 2 or 3, I don't remember, he suggested that we both need separate therapy, with different specialists, to work on ourselves and not just focus on our relationship. I refused, as I see no reason to go into therapy myself. We went just for couples counseling anyway. But as I said, he grew overly interested, especially in my girlfriend's well-being, as he put it, and brought up individual therapy each time we went. I wanted to change our therapist, but my girlfriend was really against the idea, to the point of being mad at me for even suggesting it, which I also found weird. She eventually started her individual therapy per her suggestion. It's been a month. She's going to see her therapist every week while we go to our therapist for couples counseling at least once a month. And I just want to say, she changed. Not in a good way, actually. She started to become more nitpicky, argumentative, accusatory even. She would pick up a fight over something, then bring it up in our session, have our therapist agree with her, and then they both gang up on me. The most recent example is from a week ago, when I finally had enough. We have a mutual agreement about our living situation. We split bills unevenly, which means she pays more, since she has more money than me anyway. It was never a problem for her before, but suddenly it is? And then our therapist is like, it's unfair, burdensome, etc. So I told my girlfriend that either we change our therapist or I don't want to go. To which she replies that either we go to this therapist or we break up. I think breaking up over my request is a huge overreaction, but she refuses to even have a normal discussion with me, saying things like, eye for an eye, ultimatum for an ultimatum. I'm at loss. Was my request really so unreasonable? Is there even a way to salvage this? I need some help. Maybe anyone has any idea how to approach this issue without my girlfriend going into an ultimatum mode? Edit. Since everyone is bringing up my past mistakes and previous posts, yes, I know I was wrong for this, but we were supposed to work this out in therapy. I thought we were on r/relationship advice. This sub was about, well, advice? Why is everyone choosing to ignore the issues stated in this post? Now for the advice. You were young still. Life is too short to be miserable. I'm going to be miserable if she decides to break up with me though. Not as much if you stay with her in the current situation you two are in. In time, you will get over her. Your long-term happiness is in your hands. But if she breaks up with me, I will become homeless, since I'm not working currently and I can't afford rent for now. As I said, it's way more complicated. I can move back to my parents' place, but they're not rich, so I would probably need to drop out from uni to work full-time until I save some money. My whole life will crumble, not just our relationship. Honestly, if you need couples therapy with a girlfriend, she shouldn't be your girlfriend. Move on. Plenty of fish in the sea. I don't want any other fish though. I love her, and she always took care of me. Something just changed in her after her therapy sessions, but I hope to get some idea on how to turn it around. Edit/update. Asking here was a mistake. Now we'll have fun reporting your private messages to me for harassment. Edit/update. Well, I don't know who did this or why, but someone not only found me on Facebook, but also went through my profile. I guess to find my girlfriend and linked her to my Reddit. Yeah, not to this post, but my whole account in my previous post. Do you feel better now? Are you going to sleep better? I hope you're proud of yourself for ruining our relationship and probably making me homeless. Good thing is I don't have to go to therapy anymore, since she's not going to pay for it anymore. Wait a minute. Aren't you that guy who wanted to report his partner's mother for tax evasion just because you didn't know about her inheritance? The post is deleted, but you forgot about your comments, my dude. The edit? Wow, chef kiss. I love happy endings. Poor bastard never gained a single ounce of self-awareness. As if I was some gold digger or something. It just went whoosh right over his head. About her mother, who just gives money away. About himself, makes multiple posts complaining about how his girlfriend won't give him anything and everything he wants. Wow, the delusion, the entitlement. She's good to be rid of him. It was a fairy tale ending, I must agree. All he could talk about was women, no brain, me want money. Most people would have focused on her losing her father. She deserves so much more, and I'm so glad therapy convinced her of her self-worth. At no point in any of his communications does he mention anything he likes or loves about his girlfriend. It's always about what he wants and what he thinks he deserves. At no point does he show any love or affection towards this poor girl. Now for the last story. I, 29 male, made a mistake that ended up hurting my wife's 27 female feelings. She won't let it go. My wife and I have been married for 18 months. Courthouse wedding. Still planning to do a religious ceremony with friends and family eventually. Been together for 6 total. In 2019, we moved away from our home state and city when I had a work opportunity across the country. Then due to the pandemic, we haven't been able to travel back. Back in July, my dad wanted to see me. My uncle was having a milestone birthday and they made it a big blowout celebration. My wife and I were both invited. We planned on driving down a few days earlier and check out some of our old hunts, catch up with friends, and mostly just gorge on food from the restaurants we miss. Well, I made a mistake and told my wife the wrong date. She put in for the wrong date to get off at work. I didn't catch the mistake until it was too late to change it. Luckily, my job was able to change my time off request at the last minute and I was still able to go. My wife was angry when I went without her. It was probably the biggest fight of our relationship. There was a lot of screaming on both sides. We both said and did things we didn't mean. I still can't believe she got so angry at me for just wanting to go visit family. But whatever. We apologized to one another and moved on with our lives. Or so I thought. Last night, we were driving around an unfamiliar part of our new town. My wife said that the area reminded her of our hometown. I agreed that it did. She said she really missed our hometown. I told her that I missed it too. Then she snapped at me that I was just there. I don't get to miss it in front of her. Then she got quiet and just looked out the window crying. I was getting frustrated that she wasn't talking to me, and I snapped back that it is normal to go visit family alone. Then she went from quiet crying to outright sobbing. She slept on the couch last night. Today she's really quiet and withdrawn. She says she's working, but I am pretty sure I have heard her crying in her office. So now I am wondering what to say or do to stop being punished for a small mistake. She moved away from her home for you. She took the time off that you told her. You went on a trip that your homesick wife couldn't because you messed up, leaving an already lonely person all alone. Then you have the audacity to think that because it didn't affect you to go alone, and you got to visit your family, you think it's something to just move on from. There's a whole lot of self-centered BS on one side of this issue. It is not your wife being upset you wanted to go visit family. By the way, what did you do to make up for blowing up both your wife's vacation time and rare chance to visit home? I'm going to go out on a limb and guess nothing since it didn't affect you. Absolutely spot on. I hope he's being intentionally dense. First, own your mistake and fix it before compounding it. Second, find a way to fix it. Pay for a trip for just her to visit her family. Do something instead of being like, I said sorry. That's enough.